I'm an American that lives abroad, and I'm here to tell you that you can do it too. I left the States about 2.5 years ago, and I used to live in Japan, in Tokyo, and now I live in Shanghai, in China. And the quality of my life has skyrocketed. My professional opportunities, my income, my mental health, my physical health, and the way that I move through the world has completely changed in so many better ways since I left America. America's in a really tough spot right now, as we know, and it's not looking good. As a lot of people are starting to research and learn more and travel more, they're starting to realize the way that people live in other countries. In Japan, in China, in a lot of places in Asia, in Europe, in South America. There are hundreds of millions of people living better lives than you currently are in America, and it's really hard to hear that, but it's true. And I am somebody that has actually made the jump and gone to another place, got rid of all my stuff in America, decided that I probably aren't going back, and it was the best decision I ever made. So you may think that it's difficult and impossible. It is not. Anything that is worth it is challenging, but can be the most consequential decision that you ever make in your life. And so many people all over the world have left America and have built beautiful, healthy, happy lives in so many other places. I found a life for me in Asia, and you can find somewhere in a lot of other places based on your preferences, the type of people you want to be around, the opportunities you want to pursue, etc., etc. So it is possible. I genuinely want you to believe that you can do it if it's something that you are interested in. And a lot of people are interested, and it's really, really great.
Hello guys, how's everyone doing? I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new here, you're very welcome, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on these trending stories. And if you've been watching, you already know we keep it real over here. Now let's talk about what's really going on. Now, I know some of you have been wondering what actually happens when you move outside the US. How do people adjust? And is life really better? Well, I've got some videos that will show you exactly how people are reacting after relocating and what their experiences have been like. Americans who left the US are saying they've never been happier. They are talking about how much better life is outside the States, from cheaper living costs to safer communities and even just having more time to enjoy life. And many are saying that they can finally relax, afford to travel, and no longer feel the constant pressure of working just to survive. So, before I continue this conversation, let's take a look at what more people are saying and their experiences outside USA after relocating.
I left America 6 months ago, and my life is infinitely better. Let's talk about it. First things first, I've talked about this in other videos, but it cost me around $1,000 to leave the States, which is significantly less money than I ever anticipated. And I think it's a really important thing for everyone to be talking about, that it actually costs a lot less than you might think to leave the US. Since moving abroad, these are the things that have improved in my life. First and foremost, my physical health is infinitely better. Why? The food is better. The air quality is better. I'm happier. I'm less stressed out. Medicine and healthcare is way more affordable. Like, we're talking apples and oranges. People are nicer here because they are happier here. It is significantly easier to cultivate community in a place where people are trusting and loving and empathetic and kind. And I cannot stress this enough. My central nervous system is relaxed and calm for the first time in my life.
I want to respond to this comment. The new American dream is to leave. I 1000% agree with this because I moved from California to Dubai. Best decision I've made, because the American dream that we were taught as kids does not exist anymore. So for example, we were told to go to school, get a degree, buy a house. How are we going to do that today? I'm from San Francisco, and the average house in San Francisco right now is $1.2 million. Who the F can afford a $1.2 million house? And again, this is not even a beautiful house. There's going to be homeless people probably right in front of your house. People are going to be breaking into your car. It's so dirty. It's so disgusting. It's not safe. Like, who wants to live like that? I'm sorry. I have to leave, and I'm glad I did.
Leaving my home country was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I'm talking mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Putting yourselves in different cultures is just so eye-opening. Like, when you see how people are living in other parts of the world, it forces you to realize what we take for granted back home and what we put too much value on back home. In the US, all we think about is money and other toxic things like status and clout. Making money is very important in today's world, but it's just a piece of the pie. Life is truly just a balance of health, relationships, finances, and enjoyment or entertainment. And I felt like in the US, I was forced to basically abandon my health, relationships, enjoyment just to get in a good financial position. And living abroad truly helped me fix my life balancing issues, giving me more time for what truly matters. So if you can relate to how I felt back when I was living in the US, let this be a sign to get out and travel more. You can always make more money, but you can never get your time back.
Why I left the US and will never go back there. The biggest reason why I will not be returning to live in the US is because it is a failed society. I don't think that Americans realize that the way that they live is not actually normal when you compare it to the rest of the world. It's not normal to not have healthcare. It's not normal to be in crippling amounts of debt from going to school or going to a hospital. It's not normal to only have two choices when it comes to politics and who runs your country. It's not normal to have a 79% literacy rate and half the country cannot read above a 5th grade level. My family and I immigrated to the United States when I was 5 years old. And in that time, my mom worked herself to the bone. We barely saw our mother because she was always at work. She never had time for herself. She's barely gone on vacation. Her life has literally centered around work for the last 25 years. And so my mom essentially sacrificed her life and her happiness in order to work. And when I returned to the US after living in Europe for 3.5 years, all I was doing was working. I would wake up super early in the morning, commute for 1 hour, go to work for 8 hours, commute for another hour, and then I would have 2 hours to myself before I had to go to bed in order to do the same thing in the morning again. All for 2 weeks of vacation time. And I want you guys to know that this is not normal. In some countries, the minimum that an employee will get off of work is 6 weeks. In some countries, women get years off to spend with their newborn child. After my mom gave birth to my brother, she was back at work after 2 weeks.
This is exactly why I would never, ever, ever go back to living in America. I don't even want to step foot in that damn place. First thing I learned when I left America, Brooklyn, New York to be exact, everybody in every other country is way more happier, way more content with life than people in a damn America. Every country I've been to so far, and I've been to 8, 9 different countries, every country has made less money than people in America. Literally, I've been in some damn situations that these people have not even $1, and they're more happier. They're willing to help you. And even if they don't have what you need, they will help you find it, or they will just give it to you and they don't even have a damn dollar. But try to do that in America. Yeah, that's never going to happen. The second thing I realized, you don't need to make as much money as you think to live in a different country. Do you know that I've been to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, the Philippines, Bali, Indonesia, Colombia, Dominican Republic? And do you know that my average budget for every country that I just listed is less than $2,000 a month? Now, what the hell can you get in America for $2,000 a month? I'll wait. The third thing I realized, the food is a lot healthier. And it is funny because if you do your research, you ever see those videos on YouTube when people go to different countries and they eat the same exact thing, but all of a sudden, when they're in a different country, they're losing more weight and they're eating the same amount of food. And that's because in America, there's a whole factory situation that's going on with the food. And do you know that in these countries, in Asia, in Thailand, in Cambodia, and all these other countries, right? Do you know that a lot of these people fish and go straight to the market?
As a person that left America 6 years ago now, it was literally the best decision that I've ever made. Mainly because every time that I come back, I'm coming back to see my family. I'm coming back to see everyone, see how everybody's doing. And then part of it is always being able to reevaluate and saying like, oh, maybe one day I'll come back. Maybe one day I can think about it. And when I tell you this country is on fucking fire, it's on fire. Outside of everything just being outrageously priced, like people's bills and things, it doesn't even make sense.
One of the biggest things people are loving is the lower cost of living. They are able to afford bigger homes, eat out more, and actually save money, something that felt impossible back in the US. And some say they finally are able to enjoy life without being buried under debts. And let's talk about how the work-life balance is. You see, unlike in the US, where it's all about hustle culture, people in other countries actually take time to rest. No more stressing about unpaid sick days or working overtime just to make ends meet. And they have more time for themselves, their families, and even hobbies they never had time for before. Then there's the healthcare. You find that many Americans abroad say they are shocked at how affordable and accessible healthcare is compared to the US. And no more fear of medical debt, just getting the care they need when they need it. And let's not forget safety. Some people feel a huge sense of relief just walking around their new cities at night without fear. They're living in a place where they don't even have to constantly worry about crime or gun violence. And what's even more interesting is that many of these people are encouraging others who are thinking about leaving. They are saying, if I did it, you can do it too. And they want people to know that moving outside the US has completely improved their quality of life. They have more freedom, less stress, and more time to actually enjoy their lives instead of just working to survive. Their quality life is just better. And overall, people are thriving in their new homes. They're meeting new people, experiencing new cultures, and feeling a freedom they never had in America. And they're saying it loud and clear. Leaving the US was the best decision they ever made. Anyway, what do you think about it? Would you ever leave America for a fresh start somewhere else? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.